Hello guys, this is Divya and I'm back with another episode of Personalities. Today, let us discuss about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and I'm sure all of you know him, right? He is such a famous personality. So before I begin, I would like to request you to subscribe Vysh IAS channel if you haven't yet. Also, press the bell notification because we have planned so many video series, and if you don't want to miss those, do press the bell notification. And I hope you guys are studying well and do not skip the foundational videos, which are very important, and follow your timetable strictly, right? Now let us begin. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was an Indian barrister. Barrister is the one who has studied law but in England that time, right? So he majorly contributed to the Indian independence, and not just independence, even after independence his role was in the in the Indian polity was more, right? He had majorly contributed, and then he was a senior leader of Indian National Congress (INC), and during the 1947 Indo-Pak War, his role as a home minister, right? He was the India's first home minister, and his role played a very significant role in today's in the map which we see today of India. It is because of him, right? So he integrated so many provinces into India. So he was truly at the helm of integrating and merging the British provinces, like I said, and which were allotted to India, and also the new independent India. So, right. So that's why about him we will know. That's why he was given so many names, and he is still respected a lot. So now let us know about his family life and then career as well. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was born on 31st of October 1875 in Nadiad, which is in present-day Gujarat. Earlier it was in Bombay Presidency of British India. His father was Jhaver Bhai Patel, mother's name was Labda Patel, and they were actually self-sufficient family. They were landowning family, right, capable of providing for themselves. After Nadiad, he moved to Sardar Vallabhbhai family moved to Petlad and then Borsad, and Borsad where he attended schools, and then he he got educated. Then at the age of 16 he got married to Jhavarben Patel in 1891. He was a very hardworking person, and he cleared all his exams and he got a law degree, and he became the barrister after British law education. Then he and his family were they started living in Godra, also in Gujarat, where he was called for the bar. That is, though he had the degree of law, he could not practice. In order to practice and argue as a lawyer, he had to clear the examination that is called bar examination, which he cleared. Right, he cleared this examination, and he became a very successful lawyer, very skilled lawyer. He earned a good reputation, and during his studies, his law studies, he stayed away from his home and in England for 2 years, and then with the help of other lawyers, he used to borrow books because he had some, he used to have some resource. There were not much resource available, so he kind of turned his, lack of, you can say, money into opportunity, and but he cleared all his exams. And then in 1990 he was questioning while he was questioning a witness in the court, he received a note that his wife has died, and without flinching or without showing any sign of weakness, he went on with the argument and he won that case. But later he decided that he would not marry, and his wife died because of cancer. Actually, she had the surgery, but because of the relapse she died. And after her wife died, he didn't marry again, and he raised his children on his own. Then fight for self rule. So his contributions can be divided into post India and post Indian independence and pre Indian independence. So even in independence of India, he played a really major role. So in September 1917, he delivered a speech in Borsad, and this encouraged Indians nationwide to come and sign the petition which was forwarded by Gandhiji, asking for self rule, that is Swaraj from Britain. And then on Gandhiji's encouragement, he became the secretary of Gujarat Sabha, which was the Gujarati arm of International Congress, this was a regional arm of International Congress. So he became the secretary of that, and then he energetically fought against the Ved system. That is, it was the forced servitude. Indians, they were forced to serve as servants for the Europeans. So he was against that, and he fought for this. Then he also organized relief efforts in the wake of plague. There were plague as well. There were famines as well. Because of the policies of British, there were so many artificial famines which were created. So because of that, in the Khed, he organized so many relief efforts. And in Khed, what happened was, because of the famine, the peasants were not able to pay their taxes. So the Khed peasants, they asked for tax exemption, but this request of the peasants were turned down by the British authorities. So then Sardar Vallabhbhai came into the picture, and he was actually asked by Gandhiji to come into this and devote himself for this assignment, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel happily did so, and he was succeeded also. And during that time, Gandhiji was busy in Champaran with the almost same issue of the peasants. So his role again in independent India and India becoming an independent nation. In 1924, he was elected the president of the Ahmedabad Municipal Board, right? And then when he became, he was elected the president. He, completely revamped the, you can say, the system of Ahmedabad Municipal Board. He revamped the drainage system, sanitation, cleaning, water distribution as well. So, and he became increasingly involved with the struggle for independence as well. And then his role, especially in the Bardoli Satyagraha, right, that is in 1928. There it started. Earlier he was just a regional figure. I mean, I won't say just, but he was his reach was in only in Gujarat area. Then after Bardoli Satyagraha, he became household name, and he achieved everyone in India was talking about him. That's how he got recognition nationwide. So the peasant movement, that became a great subject for discussion. And because of Sardar Vallabhbhai's tireless efforts, he was so much involved in this. So that's how he earned the title of Sardar as well. And till now, whenever we address him, we call him Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, right? So because of his efforts, he earned that title, and deservedly so. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, then he became the foremost pillar of the Indian national struggle. And then in 1931, he was elected the president of Indian National Congress. And you have to remember the session. This is very important because sometimes sessions are also asked, right? So in 1931, he was the president of National Congress, Indian National Congress, and the session was Karachi session. So what happened was in 1931, the 23rd March, Rajguru Sukhdev and Bhagat Singh, they were executed, right? And what happened before that, Gandhiji, he signed Gandhi Irwin Pact, and people were very angry. I can say a part of section was very angry with Gandhiji on why he could have. They used to feel that Gandhiji could have stop the execution of Rajguru Bhagat Singh and Sukhdev. So that time his popularity also, I mean, people, a section of the society, a section of people they went against Gandhiji. So at that time, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel came into the front, and then he delivered a speech, and that's how he kind of managed, right? Because the energy of the people had to be spent for the national movement, and he understood that. So after the passing of Indian Independence Act, that 1947, so India got freedom, and because of these continuous efforts, so many movements of such tall leaders. So but though India got independence, there were so many obstacles, and after this only his actual you can say contributions came into light. So what happened was, as you know, the at the time of independence, there were princely states, right? So those princely states, they were given kind of authority. I mean, they were given the independence by the British authorities while leaving, that they could either choose to remain independent, or they can join any of the any of the dominion of either Pakistan or India. So they were free to join any one of those. So actually there were 17 British Indian provinces, and there were more than 560 princely states. So this was a mammoth task to integrate all those princely states into India, right? And which he did. So let us know about them. So while Indian Independence Act, ceded control of British India to the Indian government, but like I said, princely states were given the authority. They were given the option, either they can join India or Pakistan, or they can remain independent. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he stepped in, and then he caused the he himself he made sure that all the princely states are integrated into the Union of India. On 25th June 1947, one state department was formed under his chairmanship, and VP Menon was made its secretary. So the duo of VP Menon and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they formed a formidable team, which through its tactics and diplomacy made it possible to so many, can you imagine, more than 560 princely states. So dealing with them, making them making them come to India, I mean integrate into India, not come to India, integrate into India, and not go somewhere else. So dealing all those things required lot of efforts, especially diplomacy, right? And which he did, right, along with VP Menon. So on 15th August 1947, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he took oath as the first Deputy Prime Minister of India. He was also the first Home Minister of India, and he also took the charge of Information and Broadcasting, that is INB. And so let us know about the princely states. So we'll start with Travancore, that is in present day Kerala, right? So the saga of accession, right, it had its own challenges and then landmark achievements as well. So in 1947 June, Jodhpur, it attempted to it attempted to join actually the Pakistan dominion, and and then after Vallabhbhai Patel stepped in, and he held so many meetings, negotiations with the Jodhpur kingdom, I mean princely state. Jodhpur was integrated into India. Then in 1947 Travancore, it announced that it chose to remain independent. Then again, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel came, and through his diplomacy, his statesmanship, he brought the Raja of Travancore. He made him agree to sign the instrument of accession, that is issue of accession, not instrument, issue of accession. Remember these terms, right? Issue of accession, right? And then after Travancore, it was Junagadh. So the Nawab of Junagadh, he wanted to join the Pakistani dominion, but the public, right, they were completely opposed to it. They wanted to join the Indian dominion. So because of that, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he held a landmark plebiscite there. Okay, so you guys should be knowing what is plebiscite, what is referendum, and what are they actually, and how they are done, why they are done, when they are done, right? So in 1948 there was a plebiscite happened, and the majority of people, that is overwhelmingly, because all the people wanted to join India, so they remained in, so Junagadh remained in India. Then Kashmir, right? So this was quite bone of contention, and I think I should say still it is, but somehow it has got kind of completely integrated into India after abrogation of 370. So Raja Hari Singh, he was the ruler of Kashmir, and then he decided against the accession. He wanted to remain independent like like Travancore prince. But what happened was, in 1947 October itself, the tribals from Pakistan, right, Pathans and all, so they came and attacked Kashmir, and they were plundering the place. So the Raja Hari Singh, he sought assistance from Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was our he was our president. So what happened was, in order to give them assistance, help, uh, he was asked to sign the instrument of succession, which he did, and that's how Kashmir was freed from the from those tribals Pakistanis, right? So the term of Kashmir accession, it was worked out later, and from that is from October 1947 to 26 January 1947, 1949, and the Constituent Assembly, it formed the Constitution of India. So during this time it was all worked out, and as resulting Article 370 was introduced. And as you can see in the Constitution, part is 21, right? It was the part 21 contains the temporary, transitional, and special provisions. Okay, so that is why, because of this temporary provision, article now Home Minister Amit Shah was able to kind of abrogate 370, because it was a temporary provision inserted that time. It was to preserve the specific terms under which Kashmir had agreed to accede to India. So story goes further. Then Article 370, president could through under this Article 370, the president could, with the Constitution Order 1954 decide the provisions of Indian Constitution which were to be applicable to Jammu Kashmir with or without modification, right? So this was the catch. So Jammu and Kashmir thus remained, it retained a special status. All the laws which were enacted in the Indian Parliament need not necessarily be implemented in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. They had their own even procedure code as well, RPC, and so many other things. So they had their own constitution as well before 5th August 2019. So what happened on 5th August 2019, the Article 370 of the Constitution, which granted of course the temporary special status to Jammu and Kashmir, it was abrogated in recognition of Jammu and Kashmir as the inalienable part of India. So you guys as UPSC aspirants should always be very clear that Kashmir, right, including the POK, is part of India. It is not. It is an inalienable part of India. This should be the stand of every UPSC aspirant, right? So with this abrogation of 370 article, the complete unification and consolidation of India, consolidation of nation occurred. Okay, as Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel envisioned. Then comes our Hyderabad. So Nizam Mir Usman Ali Khan Bahadur. So this was the Nizam of Hyderabad then during the independence. He signed a standstill agreement with the government of India to maintain a temporary status quo. He was not decided. I mean, whether he want to join India or not. So, and during that time when he was not deciding whether if he'll join India or not, there were communal tensions, and he had appointed his own army, and those were called army soldiers were called Razakars, and they had plundered the whole place, and they had kept the the public of Hyderabad, I mean the people of Hyderabad, as the hostage, and they were causing lot of atrocities over them. So Indian army, that's why had to come into they had to come to Hyderabad, and they had run an operation called Operation Polo. After this, though all the Razakars were neutralized, the army of Nizam of Hyderabad was neutralized. Then on 17 September 1948, the Hyderabad was it is said, it is some people celebrate it as a liberation day, liberation from the rule of Nizam, and some call it integration day. Some celebrate it as the day when the Hyderabad fully got integrated into the Union of India. Either way, so that is how Hyderabad got integrated into the Indian Union, and it was all after diplomacy of diplomacy tact of skills of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So Nizam, he decided, he announced a ceasefire, and in Hyderabad was retained in India. So he is famously called Lauh Purush or Iron Man, because his life and career is a lesson in how one can be so gritty, and about the sagacity and decisive. Once he decides, that is it, he sticks to it. So that's why he earned the reputation of being called Iron Man, because of the manner in which he brought about the about and maintained internal stability as home minister. Because it was a very I would say tumultuous time, uncertain time. There were so many crises. India was in crisis, I could say, that time, during because of the partition. It was one of the bloodiest you know uh, part of history. So during that time he could kind of neutralize so many forces that time. So that is why he is credited. And he successfully accomplished the task of integrating more than 560 princely states, as I mentioned earlier. So this is very remarkable in the history. Then he is also credited with the with in all India services, that he created all India services, right? And he had envisioned that these services, for which you are preparing, as the steel frame of India, and that would safeguard the country's unity and integrity, right? And he considered the officers of the services as partners in administration and expected them to maintain the highest standards of integrity and honesty. So this is what is expected from you as well. Then final years and death. So for his contribution to the independence, previously he was also featured in the Time magazine on January 1947, during during that time, because he became very famous because of his efforts. Then he last breathed at the age of 75 on 15 December 1950 at Birla House in Bombay, which is now in Mumbai. And he was posthumously awarded Bharat Ratna in year 1991. And on his birthday, that is 31st October, his birthday is observed as National Unity Day, and we know the reason why. So since 2004 it has been celebrated, and on 31st October 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he dedicated world's largest tallest statue, I'm sorry, not largest, tallest statue, that is known as Statue of Unity, to the nation. He dedicated this, and this statue is 182 meters tall, and it is somewhere near the backdrop of the Satpura and Vindhyachal range, right? Vindhyachal hills, in the district Kevadia in Gujarat. And this statue is an ode to this legendary figure, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So with this we have come into this episode. Hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and share these videos, right? We'll meet in the next one. Thank you.